And we are back at JSU Stadium. A little bit of rainfall. It was a downpour for a while, but now it has cleared out. I think the rain has actually stopped here, and we have both teams for our next game. Coming up, they are on the field, the Lynn Bears and the Cedar Bluff Tigers. John Holder with you, and along with Gerhard Mathangani, Chase Robinson will join us from field level here in just a couple of moments. But we are about to change formats again because these next three games, our final three games of the day, will be basically a round robin between Cedar Bluff, Lynn, and Fayetteville. And we'll have the two 1A teams, Lynn and Cedar Bluff, playing here first with about 40 seconds to go until we play. So we bring in Chase Robinson at this time. And Chase will be bringing you the play-by-play of two teams last year that were two of the better 1A teams, and not only in North Alabama, but in the entire state in 1A football last year, Cedar Bluff and Lynn.
Yeah, we saw our big schools in this. Now we're get to see our smaller schools here with Cedar Bluff a couple of years ago made a run to the Super 7. So excited to see what they're bringing to the 2017 season. And then, of course, Lynn on the other side there. But it looks like it's stopped raining, and we're ready to get this one underway.
We understand we're going to have something very unique happen on the first play of the game. And that is, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, Chase, but they have I don't know all the details, but I'll hope to have all the details. They have a first grade student at Lynn School that has an inoperable, as we understand it, brain tumor. I think this is him, number 7, maybe coming out on the field. I'm not sure what number he's going to be. And I have it on good authority that he might just score a touchdown on the first play of scrimmage. That is what we understand. So we are going to Cedar Bluff be in the red and Lynn is in the white. And that is what we understand is going to, in all probability, happen here. Now, we have not had live kicks in some of the previous games. But right now we have kickoff teams on the field, so it looks like, Chase, we may have some kind of a kick here from the 40-yard line.
Yes, it looks that way.
We're not sure if it's this game or it's the next game. Next game is when that's going to happen. Okay, so we'll be on the lookout for that in the next game. I know Lynn and Cedar Bluff are playing. I knew it was supposed to be a player from Lynn to do that, so that'll be coming up in the next game. So we are apparently going to have a live kick. We have not had any live kicks today, but apparently we're going to have I'm not sure if it's going to be live as far as the return, but as far as an actual kick, they're lined up to do it. But now the officials are talking with the coaches, and now they're waving them off, so I think we're not going to have a kick. So a lot of confusion out there. I think we're just going to see Cedar Bluff ball at the 35.
So the Cedar Bluff will take over on offense. We'll start it off for this game. And that is Luke Hampton, quarterback for the Tigers. Hampton takes the snap. He immediately hands off there to, I believe that is Trayvon Clifton.
Well, you know, last year Luke Hampton really got, as a freshman last year, late in the season, heading into the playoffs. Cedar Bluff lost their starting quarterback, and they had to go to Luke Hampton, and he really, without question, got thrown into the fire as a ninth grader and really did a fantastic job, and it'll be his team this year as they begin the 2017 season at quarterback.
Pass out to Isaiah Jones. Will pick up a few yards. That will bring up a third down.
Isaiah Jones is a wide receiver, but we also saw him, especially late in the season last year, play a lot at running back. And he took over the region championship game against Spring Garden and had, I think, around 200 yards rushing in that game. So he's a multi-dimensional player for the Tigers.
Hampton takes off. We'll get to around the 40-yard line. That will bring up a fourth down.
And, of course, the Tigers, I think there's possibly, I'm not sure the reason he's sitting out, but they have one of the outstanding running backs in the entire state of Alabama. He would normally be wearing number 22, Ivory Starr. Ivory Starr is a junior to be, and he's as good as any running back in any class in the state of Alabama, certainly, of course, in Class 1A. We don't see him dressed out, and I know we had a couple of Cedar Bluff players that were going to miss this game. Not sure on the reason, but obviously Ivory Starr is one of those, and that's a big We've been watching that young man for 2 years here in East Alabama. Jonathan McWhorter, playoff berths, 11 of his 12 seasons as head coach at Cedar Bluff. 2 Super 7 appearances, including 2 years ago, an overall record sparkling 94-41 in 12 years at Cedar Bluff, and expected to have another fantastic team coming up in 2017.
They'll gain a few yards on that one, and they will.
Tigers always known as a big physical team. They've also had some of the most outstanding 1A quarterbacks. If you go back over the last 10 or 15 years that we've seen in this state, they always have big linemen and always fast, speedy backs, and they've had some great quarterbacks. It's always a very talented team that Jonathan McWhorter brings forward each year in 1A play.
That is Noah Jackson, and he will hand off to Jordan Davis, who will be brought down after gaining about 3 yards, and that will bring up a 3rd down for the Lynn Bears.
This Lynn Bear team was a team that went 7-4 last year, 7-5, and 7-4 actually, and they lost in the first round of the 1A playoffs to Hackleburg 35-6, but had a very successful season, obviously winning 7 games and making the 1A playoffs, with a lot of returnees back on this Lynn Bear team for 2017.
Jackson takes the snap. He'll take it himself. He'll get a couple of yards on that play, and that will bring up a 4th down for the Bears.
Stood up there momentarily by 35, Ross Johnson. Johnson's going to be one of those key players, a big player in the middle linebacker position for the Cedar Bluff Tigers. Number 35 stood up that play. 4th down and about a yard, and it looks like that Lynn, Coach Aldridge, thinking about going for it here on 4th and 1 at his own 34-yard line. Of course, we've seen a lot of teams try to draw teams off sides in these last 3 days, so that might be the ploy here. And that's what they tried to do, and then called a timeout, and they'll have the 35-yard simulated punt, we would assume, coming out of the timeout.
Timeout, Lynn.
And we'll go to break and be back with more here at Cedar Bluff and Lynn in the 2017 Gridiron Challenge.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it in for free refills throughout the year. That's right, free popcorn for a full year. Your locally owned and operated Grub Mart, in business for over 74 years.
Hi, my name is Reverend Jeffrey C. Williams, the owner and licensed funeral director of Anderson Funeral Services. At Anderson Funeral Services, we are compassionate and caring individuals committed providing quality and professional service at affordable prices. We are where service begins and never ends, and love is what love does.
Aniston Funeral Services offers affordable services to meet any need for all families. Aniston Funeral Services, 630 South Wilmer Avenue, where service begins and never ends.
Back here at Jacksonville State University, we got Cedar Bluff and Lynn on the field here at the Gridiron Challenge. With John Holder, I'm Chase Robinson. Gerhard Mathangani down on the field for this one here. Continuous running clock as we are here in the first quarter. A little round robin here. Cedar Bluff, Lynn, and Fayetteville. This is the first of those 3.
Nice kick out block that time, as the Lynn drive stays alive, and they pick up about 3 yards on 1st down.
We'll have 2nd down and about 7 to go for the Lynn Bears.
Our Lynn roster ends at number 56, so if there's a player 57 and above, Chase, I don't think we're going to know who he is because we don't have that on our roster. The perils of spring football.
Jackson takes the snap, hands off there to Davis.
And again, Ross Johnson in there, also Lucas Tracy. So Isaiah Jones coming to the top of the pile, gang tackling by the Cedar Bluff defense. One thing the shower that came through did is it lowered the temperatures by about 15 degrees outside.
Yes.
It's much more bearable out there. The sun has gone back behind the clouds. Everything's kind of wet and damp out there, and much more tolerable for the fans and the players.
So we'll have third down. Noah Jackson will take the snap. Looks to go to the air this time. Long pass complete there to number 11. That is Luke Tittle.
Nice catch in traffic across the middle from Tittle. As we see Jackson in the pocket plenty of time, squares the shoulders, strike across the middle, all kind of red jerseys there, but makes the connection. And another first down for Lynn as they keep the drive alive. Another first down for the Bears.
1st and 10 from the 45. Snap to Jackson. He hands it there to Davis. Davis takes it across the 30-yard line to about the 28, and that will pick up the first down for the Lynn Bears.
Great job by the Lynn offensive line. Some of the folks from Cedar Bluff were worried about some of their size up front. They pull the guard, and they just kick everybody out. All kind of room there for Jordan Davis to run, and the 180-pounder makes the most of it and rattles off another first down for the Lynn Bears. This has been an impressive opening drive for Lynn.
1st and 10 from the 29. Jackson will take the snap. Hand off this time to Blake Adams. And Adams is brought back down at the line of scrimmage.
Little trivia question here for you, Chase. The very first Super 6 game that was ever played in history at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. 1996. Maplesville in the 1A championship game against who do you think?
Lynn.
Lynn, there you go. Lynn Bears. Lee Cagle, one of the all-time leading rushers in state history, led them there. Maplesville won that first Super 6 game 45-6 over Lynn. The only championship game appearance the Bears have made.
There's Noah Jackson taking it himself. He gained about 2 yards on the play.
The game was also noteworthy because right in the middle of that game, they had a huge thunderstorm that came through downtown Birmingham, cleared the stadium out, much like we're seeing today, cleared everybody out of there, and had a lightning delay and set everything late. And the 4A championship game that evening didn't start till real late. And fog developed, and you couldn't even see from the press box down to field level in the 4A championship game that evening between Fayette County and T.R. Miller.
Snap this time to Davis. He'll take it himself, push his way to about the 20. And it will be short of the first down. So that will be a 4th and very short. And that will be the end of the first quarter. But they will, even though it's the end of the first quarter, they will put the time on the clock, the 8 minutes, and they will automatically start running it.
So no break here, and what they're going to do, as we understand it, is they're going to, the clock is running 7:45, 7:44, so they are huddling up here, but the clock is running, and now obviously we're under a time constraint here with this event today because of other events that are going on scheduled for the stadium later this evening. And so they are trying to do everything they can to get these games in as quickly as possible. Still 3 more games to go. So they're just going to go running clock. I think they're going to switch on over to the next quarter and not even take a break and not even switch the ends of the field, it looks like.
That's what it looks like. So we'll go with it here.
So no quarter breaks.
Yep. It's 4th down and 1, and Davis will pick up the positive yardage. That will get the first down.
Davis is only 180 pounds, Chase, but he is a very muscular 180 pounds, and he's a very physical runner. We have seen him punishing that Cedar Bluff defense on the interior. Cedar Bluff's got some size up there with Andrew Stowe and Bailey Agan on the front, tipping the scales at around 300 pounds, but right now, Lynn just opening some holes.
The pitch to Davis. He won't get much on that one, and he's met there by the Cedar Bluff defense.
Yeah, that's Ethan Teague, the junior, who comes in. Teague, good penetration, and a good open field tackle in the backfield. And second down and long now for the Bears. So we're just running through without any breaks in the quarters, not even switching into the field. We're doing everything we can to get this game in.
Jackson will take the snap, go to the air this time, and that's where he finds Micah Cagle down at the 3-yard line.
Cagle's a famous name in Lynn history. A couple of Cagles, actually 4 Cagles on the roster this year. Threaded the needle that time. What a great pass. All kind of red jerseys in the air, and he put it right on the money. First and goal now for Lynn. What a time. They've had the ball basically for several minutes now and driven the length of the field. This has been a very impressive drive by Lynn.
Jackson takes the snap, hands off to Davis. Davis drives in, pushes through, and a touchdown for the Lynn Bears.
After that first possession by Cedar Bluff, Lynn took the ball and basically held the ball for most of the first quarter. So far, all of this second quarter, dominating in time of possession and a methodical drive all the way down the field to get the touchdown. Very impressive opening possession offensively for the Lynn Bears coming down from Marion County.
Have your attention, please. Severe weather has been detected in the area, which includes lightning within 28 miles of the stadium. If you choose to leave, you may re-enter the stadium without.
And it looks like the Bears will be going for the 2-point conversion here. Jackson takes the snap. This time it will be Blake Adams just short of the goal line.
Great job, Dalton Richardson, stepping up from his cornerback position, and a great stand on the goal line to prevent the 2-point conversion. Look at the replay here. All kind of red jerseys, struggling to get to the end zone, but give all the credit to Dalton Richardson of Cedar Bluff for shutting that down at the goal line.
So 6-0. The Lynn Bears lead the Cedar Bluff Tigers here in our first of the last 3 games here in the Gridiron Challenge. We're a little round robin here between Cedar Bluff, Lynn, and Fayetteville.
They just made an announcement within the stadium. PA announcer Shad Smith announcing that lightning had been detected within 28 miles of the stadium. And I think the procedure here is JSU is that doesn't affect the game, but it does affect, they make the announcement as a courtesy to the fans that if they feel like that lightning's within that 28-mile radius, they want to leave, they at least have the knowledge of it. I think it's within 13 miles of the stadium.
Yes.
Is 15 miles of the stadium is when they actually make the stadium to be cleared and send the teams to the dressing room. Hopefully that won't happen.
Cedar Bluff back on offense, quickly brought down there was, I believe that was number 12, Davion Fife.
Fife, another returnee. He will be a key returnee for Coach Jonathan McWhorter and the Tigers here in 2017. Stoppage in play here.
Whistle blown there.
Looks like we'll have a substitution, maybe a player with an equipment problem or maybe a little blood. It looks like there might be a little blood problem over there that they're having to clean up, and he'll come out. Clock runs. Cedar Bluff back to the line.
Luke Hampton in at quarterback. For Isaiah Jones will take it this time. Jones will be brought out around the 44-yard line.
Well, the situation last year as they got down to that region championship game against Spring Garden was they were without Hampton, and there were rumors going around all week long that they were going to come in there and put Isaiah Jones in a Wildcat, and that's exactly what they did, and Spring Garden just could not stop it at all that night, and Cedar Bluff rode him literally to a region title.
Jones takes it again. And he will pick up the first down on that play.
So this is not, seeing Jones in the Wildcat is not really a trick play. It's not something different that they do. Since the end of last season, they have, Jonathan McWhorter did a really, I thought, a very brilliant job in putting maybe your best all-around athlete at the quarterback position and letting him take the direct snap. And it has been good to them. It's been good to them on this drive.
Fife takes the handoff that time. He'll gain about a yard on the play. Minute 25 left here in the second quarter. The clock still running.
Cedar Bluff trying to answer the Lynn touchdown.
Jones pitches it to Fife. He takes off across the 50, cuts through. We'll get down to about the 40. Pick up a first down for the Tigers. Nice drive here, but they got under a minute to go to get in that end zone.
When they're in that Wildcat with Jones, it just gives a different dimension to their offense because you have to account for him. Such a dangerous player. But then you've got guys like Davion Fife in the backfield. You have to account for him, too. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Luke Hampton back in at quarterback for the Tigers, and they'll look to go to the air this time. He'll take it himself and go out of bounds. Just pick up 2 yards on the play, and that will bring up a second down and 8.
Cedar Bluff will be tough to them to get more than one play off with 20 seconds to go, and now we'll have a timeout going to be called by Cedar Bluff. So Jonathan McWhorter will get his guys over to the sidelines and try to figure something out for the last 12 seconds. Well,
they're keeping the clock running even through the timeouts.
Even through timeouts,
they're pointless.
We're going to be here with you the whole way, it looks like. Again, there's another event that is scheduled here for the stadium later on this evening, and so basically this event has to be over with, is what we understand, by the time that event begins. And so what is going to happen is apparently to try to get as much play in, they are and try to get these games completed. Our understanding is there's not going to be any breaks whatsoever.
They're going to do one untimed play here for Cedar Bluff. Hampton rolls out, looks to the air, lets it go, and knocked down there by the Lynn Bears, so that will do it. 6-0. The Lynn Bears will take the 2 quarters here in this first round robin, and they'll put 5 minutes on the clock and get ready for Fayetteville Lynn.
Gary Mathangani, I think, may try to interview one of the coaches here, probably not both, but maybe one of the coaches here. So we'll check in with Gerhard. They've already put 5 minutes on the clock and counting. Fayetteville is already on the field getting ready for the next game.
You hate to see it end in that way. I know we got to get things going, but to have 2 teams out there on the field and not really get to, accomplish a whole lot, not get to finish their drive, not get to finish the game they were playing. I hate to see that, but we do have.
And the rules changing, and of course, that's just the way it is. Apparently, we have, as we understand it, there's 53 minutes, and at 53 minutes, regardless of what is going on, everything in this event has to end, is what our understanding is. And that's why we're not taking any quarter breaks or timeouts or stopping the clock for anything, really. Now Lynn will go back to the visitor's sideline, and they'll just have about 4 minutes of a break. Cedar Bluff will go down into the east end zone here, and they'll rest for a while. And Fayetteville, and Coach John Limbaugh and his team will step forward.
And Gerhard Mathangani is down on the field. Let's check in with Gerhard.
All right, guys, I'm here with Coach Jonathan McWhorter. Coach, you play that first part of the little bit of a round robin, then you'll take a little break and come back. First off, your observations here for this first game.
Just trying to get everybody on the field. We told them from the very first day of spring training, we want to get to where we can evaluate every kid and then go into summer having an idea of where we feel like they need to play. And obviously with running clock, it's tough to do that, but we got a little bit of time, and then we'll have a break and we'll get a little bit more time, and we're just excited to have a chance to play and have some evaluation time. So
the 3 teams here have a kind of a unique opportunity playing 2 different opponents. Talk about that aspect of it and being able to come back out here a little bit later and play Fayetteville.
Well, and I think it's great. I mean, we, in a venue like this, this is great for our kids. We get to see some folks that we don't see on a normal basis. To my knowledge, we've never played Fayetteville. We played Lynn, I think, one time in the playoffs in '07. you know, we like to see some different competition, so this is a great opportunity to do that.
I'll let you get back with your team, Coach. We'll see you in a bit. Jonathan McWhorter, head coach of Cedar Bluff, guys.
All right, Jonathan McWhorter, the head coach of the Cedar Bluff Tigers. His team will step out underneath the east end zone here, and we will be back to action. I think we're ready to go right now. We're going to roll on through with Fayetteville and Lynn starting up here in just a couple of seconds.